Hello and welcome to another episode of Nac Edition. I'm Elena Walker. Today, we'll check out all of the new holiday preparations as SFA gets into the holiday spirit, upcoming jazz productions, and we might even take a brief detour into outer space. Stay right there. This is Nac Edition. This 2017 marks the two-year period where new members of the Board of Regents at SFA are able to be selected by the governor. Every 2 years, the SFA Board of Regents gets 3 new members. This year, though, 4 people were appointed to the board. The board will welcome back some familiar faces since 2 of its current members have been reappointed. The board will also welcome 2 new members. Bridget Henderson, who is the current vice chair of the board and has been reappointed and will be part of the board until 2023. Tom Mason will replace board member Ken Schaefer, whose term ended this year. Board member Ralph Todd also finished his term this 2017 and will be replaced by Karen Gant. Barry Nelson, who was part of the Board of Regents, passed away last November. Under the circumstances, Ken Schaefer, whose term had just ended, will fill out the rest of Nelson's term that was to end in January 2019. If you want to learn more information or want to contact the Office of SFA Board of Regents, you can call 936-468-7048. Every semester, SFA upperclassmen celebrate their accomplishments at the annual Ring Dip, hosted by the SFA Alumni Association. We sent our very own James Fowler to take an in-depth look at the ceremony and the traditions surrounding it.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth Simino, and I'm the Lady Jack for the 2017-2018 season. I'm a dance major, and I'm from Alvin, Texas.
Hi, I'm Jesse. I'm the lumberjack for the 2017-2018 year. I'm a business major, and I'm from Arlington, Texas.
As the semester winds down and graduating seniors prepare for graduation, the SFA Alumni Association puts on an event known as the Big Dip.
During the event, students receiving their rings will come and dip their hand in a purple glaze. The purple glaze is a combination of different materials, one of which being the water from Surfing Steve.
Axe and Jacks!
Congratulations to everybody getting a ring.
The fall semester is always typically a lot larger. We have about 530 total students this semester, and the biggest change expected for this year is that we are actually not at the Grand Ballroom here on campus. We are actually at the Fredonia Hotel because of the construction going on campus. But I think it'll be really neat.
When I asked Mrs. Hawkins about the tradition of dyeing your hand purple, she let me know that there's a little bit more behind it.
Well, it's top secret. I honestly don't even know what goes in it, but it's a big concoction of several things that end up dyeing your hand for several days. And it's actually part of the tradition as well, because we have where we've worked with many of the businesses around town, and we have dipping discounts for the day of Big Dip. And so if you show each of these discounts or each of these businesses your purple hand, then they will give you a discount that day of Big Dip.
The Big Dip event will be held Friday, December 1st at the Convention Center at the Fredonia Hotel. At 9:30 will be the College of Education and the College of Fine Arts, and at 2 p.m. will be the College of Liberal and Applied Arts, College of Forestry and Agriculture, and the College of Science and Mathematics. With Nac Edition, this is James Fowler.
Nacogdoches is a city full of history, and one of its tales is the Stern-Hoya Museum.
The Stern-Hoya Museum has had a few owners, but still holds a big part of Nacogdoches history. The Stern-Hoya Museum, located on 211 Lanana Street, was originally built in 1830 by Adolphus Stern. Stern was an immigrant from Germany. During the Texas Revolution, he became an ammunition smuggler for the Fredonian Rebellion. The house was sold to the von der Hoya family in 1869 and was later donated in 1958 to the city of Nacogdoches, and served as a public library for a couple of years until the library realized that the weight of all the books was destroying the stability of the house, and now remains as a museum. Some of the rooms that are displayed in the museum is the library, an attic that held 7 children at a point, and others.
The home actually only ever had 2 owners, the Stern family who built the house, and then later they sold the house to the von der Huya family.
The Stern Hoya Museum is open from Tuesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tours are free. This has been Lucy Briones for Nac Edition.
The Student Activities Association, better known as SAA, wasted no time getting everyone back involved in some SFA spirit following the Thanksgiving break. They created flyers and posters to show a complete lineup of different events and activities to participate in for every day of the week. One of the activities was held yesterday in the Spirit Lounge, where people were able to create memory jars. Memory jars are meant to be designed in a way that shows your outlook on a time in your life. There were several tables lined up, and the first table allowed people to write down things they've been accomplished for this semester, new things that they tried, and they also wrote down things that they improved on. It was a way to be proud of themselves. The next table down had 2 different shapes of jars where students were able to select the ones that they wanted to decorate. Next, after picking their jars, each table following had various items for them to decorate. There were stencils in several different design patterns, pom-pom balls, stickers, jewels, ribbons, letters, and an ample amount of glitter. Hot glue gun and regular glue was ready to go as needed. Students were able to show their creative side and reflect on fun times in the semester with their friends. It seemed to be a perfect event for students closing out on the semester, especially for those graduating in the next few weeks. And don't worry, the week isn't over yet, so if you didn't make the event, know that there's more in store for SFA students, faculty, and staff. Christmas time is getting closer, and what is the best way to get in the holiday spirit than listening to some great music? The SFA Swinging Axis and Swinging Aces will be having a concert this Friday, December 1st. But first, let's listen to what they themselves have to tell us.
My name is Dr. J.D. Solis. I'm the director of the Swinging Aces. As part of the music education program, teaching jazz is a very important part of the students' curriculum. One thing that we'll be doing on this concert is premiering a new piece that was composed by a good friend of mine, a tenor saxophonist by the name of Mike McGowan. The thing that I look forward to for most of the jazz concerts is kind of seeing how well the students retain the work that we've done this semester. But it's also just the level of creativity, because a lot of both bands, what they do is they'll play the music, but a part of that is improvising the solos. So the difference between jazz and a lot of other styles of music is that we have written portions of the music, but there are certain portions where the only thing provided in the music is the chords, and the students actually get to solo over those chords and create their own melodies. The unique thing about performing jazz is you're never going to get the same performance twice. Conducting the Swinging Aces actually completes like my favorite job in the world. So I teach both tuba, euphonium, and I get to conduct a jazz ensemble. Our pianist this year is actually a percussionist, so it's Barry Martin, and so who also plays piano and sings, so kind of gives you a chance to show how versatile you can be as a musician.
My name is Macedonio Musinho, but I go by Max Musinho, and I'm the teaching assistant for the Swinging Axes. As a teaching assistant, I'm in charge of the music library and making sure that the ensemble is set up every rehearsal, and assisting Dr. Scott, directly with anything that she might need to help run the Swinging Axes. And I'm also a member in the ensemble. I play lead trumpet within the group. It takes several weeks to get ready for a show, and including sectional time where we'll meet on our own time. Swinging Axes and the Swinging Aces are awesome, and we're going to be performing some great Gordon Goodwin charts and some great Stan Kenton charts. It's a wonderful opportunity to see a lot of hard work get put together here, and the jazz bands here is kind of a hidden gem in East Texas.
The concert will be next Friday, December 1st, and it will be at 7:30 p.m. in Cole Concert Hall.
To learn more about the event, you can call the SFA Fine Arts box office at 936-468-6407. Well, you won't want to miss out on that show. And after the break, we will be looking at the annual tree lighting extravaganza celebration at Stephen F. Austin and take a look onto the sky with both the Juno probe and our very own observatory. Welcome back. Let's get into more happening in the community or maybe outer space. After a week of waiting, NASA received stunning new photos of Jupiter. The Juno probe has sent its ninth set of photos of Jupiter after a signal was blocked by the sun for more than a week. These photos show stunning views of the planet's cloud tops captured by the spacecraft that flew within a few thousand miles of Jupiter. The Juno probe flybys the planet at speeds of around 130,000 miles per hour, starting at Jupiter's North Pole and ending at its South Pole. These photos are retouched to show the gas giant's true colors rather than the original grayscale photos. The atmosphere of Jupiter is made up of mostly molecular hydrogen and helium. Other chemical compounds are also present, such as ammonia, hydrogen, sulfate, and water, which causes the clouds to have different colors and properties. Churning storms also cause the clouds to change in appearance. NASA says the Juno probe will continue to document Jupiter for as long as they can keep it going. Well, we may not be able to see the clouds on Jupiter, but we are able to take a look up into the sky with SFA's very own observatory, open to astronomy students for their annual night lab. Upperclassmen and professors have recently made a remarkable discovery. We sent our Lucy Briones to take an up-close look.
It's quite difficult to see the stars in the night sky, but here in Nacogdoches, astronomers have found a way to discover the sky's secrets. Stephen F. Austin Physics Department, Dr. Markman discussed with me information that most people or students don't know. The observatory has two telescopes, the 41 and 18-inch telescope. The 41-inch telescope was constructed in 1984 and is primarily used for variable star research. The astronomy department is responsible for discovering two asteroids named Nacogdoches and Swasu. The astronomy department gives the ability for students and the community a reason to look up at the night sky and explore all the wonders that are waiting to be discovered.
What is more compelling than exploring the entire universe? I think that's why astronomers get into the game. I was the kind of person that the more I learned about it, the more I wanted to learn about it.
The astronomy department hosts public viewing sessions where they show you how to properly use a telescope and how to read the night sky to see the constellations. For more information, you can visit their website at physics.sfasu.edu. This has been Lucy Briones for Nac Edition.
The streets of downtown Nacogdoches were filled with Hispanic culture recently. Here's Haley Mendez with more.
On November 4th, historic downtown Nacogdoches hosted their 5th annual Dia de los Muertos festival. Dia de los Muertos, also known as Day of the Dead, is a Mexican holiday where friends and family gather to pray for and remember loved ones who have died. The brick streets were full of music, food, and people dressed in festive clothes and makeup. Locals and small businesses had booths set up selling sweets, clothes, and other handmade items. There was Aztec dancers and bands. This festival is held every year, so make sure to check it out next year. For Nac Edition, I'm Haley Mendez.
The annual tree lighting outside of the Austin building on the SFA campus took place last night. Our Nick Walker took a look at the events.
I'm standing outside the Austin building on the SFA campus where the annual tree lighting ceremony is about to begin.
The holiday extravaganza annually takes place the Tuesday after Thanksgiving break. It was put in place by Dr. Baker Patillo, and he lights the entire campus at one time, and it officially begins the holiday season at SFA.
The holiday extravaganza included performances by the choirs of the SFA Charter and the Brooks Quinn Jones Elementary Schools. It also had the Hall Council and Residence Hall Association holding a wide variety of festive tables set up to get the community involved in anything from face painting to ornament decorating. Of course, it concluded with Baker Patillo himself lighting the tree.
There we are.
So the students really like whenever the campus is lit. Every year it stays lit all night long until about 11:30. The lights will automatically go off and the students really just enjoy the Christmas spirit around campus.
This has been Nicholas Walker reporting on everything lit in the community. Back to you in the studio.
Stay tuned. Nac Edition will be right back with this week's weather and sports.
Welcome back. I'm Jamal Hamilton. Hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving break. Let's take a look at your national weather. Well, as you can see across the country, current temperatures are definitely starting to drop. As you can see here, there's a lot of atmospheric pressure up top, which is going to clear out a lot of that warm air, and a lot of cooler air is going to reach across the Midwest and sweep into the lower half of the country. As you see, temperatures are low here in Texas. The lowest are 48, 56, and 60. Currently over here in the Midwest, temperatures are at an almost record low here in California at a 35, and they're 26 up here in South Dakota. Let's take a look at your local weather. Well, as you can see down here in College Station, you have a low of 72 and a high of 87. As you can see up here in Tyler, it's sunny with mostly cloudy skies. There's about a 10% chance of rain. There's a low of 67 and a high of 77. There's a high of 72 here in Nacogdoches and a low of 65. There's a high here of 72 in Lufkin and a low of 67. Down here in Jasper, it's sunny with a 5% chance of rain with a high of 75 and a low of 66. Well, let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. Wednesday, it's sunny with a cloudy with a 10% chance of rain. There's a high of 72 and a low of 45. Thursday is plenty sunshine out there with a high of 70 and a low of 46. Friday, we have a high of 69 and a low of 44. Saturday, there's a high of 71 and a low of 46. And at the end of the weeks, there's a high of 72 on Sunday and a low of 55. Well, let's take a look at your calendar of events. All right, for all you juniors and graduating seniors, this Friday, there is the annual Big Ring Dip ceremony that will be hosted at the Fredonia Hotel Convention. I believe the morning ceremony starts at 9:30 a.m. and the evening ceremony begins at 1 p.m. November 29th through December 2nd, the College of Arts Congressional Art and Competition and Exhibit will hold an event. Also, Friday, SFA's Children's Performing Arts Series will hold their annual It's a Christmas Carol. And after the break, we will get the scoop with sports with Isaac Niedrauer. Stay with us for Nac Edition.
Good afternoon. With your East Texas Sports Update, I'm Isaac Niedrauer. Fall is quickly turning to winter, and that means basketball is front and center. But before we dive off into the new sports season, let's take a look at the postseason from this past one. The Stephen F. Austin Lady Jacks volleyball team was surprisingly shocked in an upset in the first round of the Southland Conference tournament in Corpus Christi, Texas. The Lady Jacks, the league champions of the regular season, became the first #1 seed to be taken out by the lowest seed in the field in the history of the Southland Conference tournament. It represented in that way an upset of historical proportions and a crushing blow to an otherwise stellar season for Debbie Humphreys and SFA. All is not lost, though. The Lady Jacks have been invited to participate in the NIVC, an elite invitational postseason tournament for teams not eligible for the NCAA championships. SFA will battle Ole Miss of the SEC at 6 p.m. this evening, and the winner will continue tournament play tomorrow at the same time. Despite the disappointing result in Corpus Christi, Texas, this represents the first time in over a decade that the Lady Jacks have been invited to participate in a national postseason tournament. In fact, it's the first time since in over a decade that they played in the postseason at all. It certainly represents a positive trajectory for Humphrey's program. The Lady Jacks and Lumberjacks played a doubleheader last night on the hardwood at William R. Johnson Coliseum. Both basketball teams are off to a hot start, but the two games could not have gone much differently. The Lady Jacks led buzzer to buzzer in an emphatic takedown of Central Baptist College last night, holding the Mustangs without a field goal for the entire quarter of play, stretching from early in the second to the third quarters. SFA pulled away to win by a final score of 97-34. Central Baptist College is a member of the NAIA, and a big win was expected, but the hope is that some confidence can be built for the bigger tests ahead. Head coach Mark Kellogg agrees.
The ball and bounce past it. So you talk about, how the ball movement helps. How important is that to you?
Yeah, offensively, being unselfish but not being too unselfish is something we talk about. We want to make the extra pass to get the great shot. I've used this expression before, is give up good to get great. I thought there was a lot of good shots we could have taken tonight, but I was actually pretty proud of them to maybe make another pass or two. And then let's get it. We talk about taking shots from the inside out, and I thought we just gave up some just perimeter shots to get an inside-out shot, and those typically, you shoot at a higher percentage. So, we want to be a good passing team. We want to get a lot of people involved, and to do that, you've got to move. You've got to have ball movement.
The story for the Lumberjacks men was a little different. SFA hosted North Dakota State, a quality mid-major from Fargo, who represented easily their biggest test at home. The Lumberjacks never found an offensive rhythm, but neither did their opponents. The Lumberjacks forced 28 turnovers in an ugly slugfest that turned out to be the winning formula for the home team. SFA won the contest 54-50, notching their 6th win of the season despite scoring a season low in points. Leon Gilmore III had his first double-double of the season, and Shannon Bogues paced SFA with 15 points. After the game, head coach Kyle Keller called it his team's best defensive performance since he arrived in Nacogdoches over a year ago.
It's built. It was a battle of wills, and in my opinion, they won as much as we did. Just the scoreboard allowed us to be up 4 because they got us to do what they wanted us to do. Maybe we did a little bit more than they did. I mean, we only gave up 11 three-point attempts, which I thought was the whole key to the game. I thought our guys we did what we wanted to do defensively. I thought it's the best defense we played since I've been here, for sure. And that's how we practiced yesterday. And if I could script up a game defensively, that was it. I sure wouldn't on the other end, but defensively, I was really, really pleased with how we played.
Stephen F. Austin men return to action this weekend when they host Louisiana Monroe on Saturday afternoon. Speaking of basketball, as we head into the final month of the non-conference season, we've seen a few things across campus at William R. Johnson Coliseum. Let's do a quick countdown before we wrap up of some top highlights as SFA hits the back end of that non-conference schedule. Let's have some fun here with it this afternoon. It's time for Take 5. Number 5, it's Leon Gilmer with a monster slam against Howard Payne. Let's watch that again in slow motion. The big man with hops slams it down, and SFA dominated that contest last week. Number 4, Aaron Augustin with the hop step to the basket. The growth of SFA's point guard, Aaron Augustin, maybe the biggest story of the game so far. TJ Holyfield with that Euro step right there is our number 3 play. And at number 2, Ivan Canet. It's the lob. Ivan Canet to Shannon Bogues, who finishes at the rim. Ivan Canet with the assist. Shannon Bogues scored 17 in that game. That is his season average this year. A big start. And our number 1 play, it's Aaron Augustin off the backboard to Shannon Bogues for the score. The play of the year, maybe the play of the last few years for SFA. Off the backboard and slams it down. Well, that's going to do it for sports here today. Let's send it back to Elena to wrap up our show today.
Wow, that final five, Isaac, that final five, I cannot, that was honestly probably some of the best highlights, and I'm a huge basketball fan, so it's really cool to see those highlights. Now, you guys, with the holidays and the finals fastly approaching, the last thing that we want to do is get sick, right? You don't want to get sick. Flu season is here, and we have some preventing actions to avoid getting influenza in these last days of 2017. Health Clinic recommends a yearly flu vaccine as the first and most important step in protecting against flu viruses. Other things you can do is wash your hands constantly, keep an alcohol-based rub with you at all times, avoid contact with people who are sick, and cover your nose. Like, come on, guys, make sure that you're not, yeah. So thank you guys so much. I'm Elena Walker. Tune in next week. This is Nac Edition.